Hello, Montgomery County. How we doing? Is everybody here ready to stand up for the Montgomery Way? Where we embrace diversity and inclusion and respect for all? Welcome. Thank you all so much for coming. My name is Gabe Albernaz. I'm the director of the county's Recreation Department and serve on the cabinet of County Executive Ike Leggett. I also have the pleasure of serving as the MC this afternoon. We're going to start with the national anthem, which will be sung by Ms. Coleman from the People's Community Baptist Church Ministry. Ms. Coleman, please come forward.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow. It's been a rough couple weeks, but that made me feel really, really good. All right, welcome again to our Stand Up for Montgomery rally. As I said before, an event that really affirms the values of Montgomery County, embracing those of diversity, inclusion, and respect. All of us come from different walks of life, but what attracted us to this community are those values, and I'm sure it's what brought many of you out here today. Today is about coming together as one community, one voice, together in brotherhood and love. So thank you all again for coming. We're going to start our presentation with a call to prayer. We have representatives from the Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, and Christian faiths here that will offer some prayers. I'd like to bring them forward now to the stage. Please give them a round of applause. Our first prayer will be from the Imam Jamil Amid Dasti from the Islamic Society of Maryland.
Hello everyone. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله. Thank you.
Our county executive asked for the support of the faith community. So I'm going to give another moment for the faith leaders who've come up this afternoon to be present with us before we go on with the support.
Thank you, Reverend Caseman. And now, representing the Jewish faith, Ms. Jenny Livak with the shofar. Representing the Buddhist faith, the Venerable Bhante Uparanta, President of the Maryland Buddhist Vihara.
නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නහි වේරේන වේරානි සම්මන්තිද කුදාචනං අවේරේනේච සම්මන්ති ඒස ධම්මෝ සනන්තනෝ. Hatred is never opposed by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law of eternal. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotte bhavantu te. We bring the peace and happiness with the success and unity together, work together, all faith together at our county. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Representing the Christian faith, Father Jacek Orzechowski, the Provincial Vicar from St. Camilla's Catholic Church.
Let us pray. O God, you created us in your own image and likeness. Each human person, and even the tiniest part of your amazing earth, is part of your revelation, an opportunity to know you a little bit better. We thank you and praise you for that great gift. We come together as members of one another, bound by love, children of the same God. You have called us to be partners with you in creating a beloved community here on earth, here in Montgomery County. We are disheartened by any manifestation in our midst of hate speech, hate crimes, racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, misogyny, homophobia. We denounce it as being against your will, O God. God of unity, remind us that the art of history bends towards justice, insofar as we allow you to work through us, through our passion for justice, for inclusivity. Touch the hearts of those who sow the seeds of hatred. Turn them towards your way of justice and peace and inclusivity. Deepen our hope, courage, and commitment to be bearers of your dream in our own time and place. Help us to walk and work in the assurance that we can count on your sustaining love every moment of our lives. Give us courage and tenacity to bring down walls of fear, ignorance, hatred, and instead build bridges of civil discourse, mutual respect, and love. We ask this in the name of God, who is the author of hope, the architect of reconciliation, the healer of nations, and the Prince of Peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the man who's really brought us here today, who understood that there's great anxiety in our community across, not just here, but across this country, and felt the need to do something about it. So with that, I'd like to introduce our leader, our county executive, Mr. Ike Leggett.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If there's ever a question about our resolve to treat all people with dignity and respect and love, this is it. Yeah! I want you to know how proud I am that you are here in this cold weather, that you're here expressing love for your neighbors, that you're here affirming the Montgomery County way. That is, that we are a city that welcomes all people and we treat people with dignity and respect. I want to make sure that we send this message out, that you take a picture of what you see today, because this is Montgomery County. This is what this world should be like, because it reflects our values. I'm going to introduce for just a second or so to say hello to you a couple of my good friends here. Our Senator-elect, Chris Van Hollen. Please come forward.
Thank you, Ike Leggett. Thank all of you from around our community to come together like we are today, to let our state and our country know that we draw strength from the fact that we are home to people from all over the world, people of different backgrounds, people of different races and ethnicities and religions, and that we are stronger when we're bound together. You know, the promise of America is the promise that every individual should have the chance and the opportunity for equal rights and equal justice and equal opportunity. And we have traveled a good distance down that path as a country, but we have a long way still to go to build a more perfect union. But I can tell you one thing, and I can say with confidence, looking across this great tapestry, that there's no way we are going back. We are not turning back the clock on social justice, not in Montgomery County, not in Maryland, and not in the United States of America. And all of us here in this community have to say that not only do we celebrate diversity in our community, but we are going to fight throughout our state and throughout our country to make sure that we build an even more perfect union as we move ahead in this country. Thank you all. God bless you for being here.
Our Congressman-elect Jamie Raskin. I see some beautiful signs out there. I see immigrant rights are human rights. I see diversity is our strength. I see I am my brother's keeper. I see stand up for love, compassion, tolerance, and harmony. United we stand, united against hate. Ladies and gentlemen, we've seen some outrageous hate incidents in our community over the last week or 10 days. unlike anything I've seen in decades living here. Somebody defaced the Black Lives Matter sign at the Christ Congregational Church on Colesville Road. But you know what we did? We rallied with 150 people the next day to say, we won't stand for that in our community. And then somebody put a whites only sign at the Episcopal Church in New Hampshire Avenue. And yesterday somebody drew a swastika on someone's front door in Woodmore, in Silver Spring. And today we are here, it looks like 500, 800, or 1,000 people to come together to say, we stand for solidarity, compassion, brotherhood, and sisterhood in Montgomery County, Maryland. And we're not going back. We're not going back. And we're not going to let anybody turn us around. We're not going to allow any white supremacist, any white nationalist turn us around. We're not going to allow any hate criminals turn us around. And if they want to have a list of Muslims in America, my friends, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm going to be the first person to sign my name on that list. Let's stand with the Montgomery Way.
The State Level Controller, Peter Francho.
Thank you, Ike. Could we please give Ike Leggett another round of applause for bringing us together? Coming up this week, we have a wonderful holiday that we're going to sit down to, and we all have a relative. Mine's coming from Georgia. My brother, he's a dear friend of mine, obviously. I love him dearly. But if a certain subject comes up, I'm going to remind him of this event and all of your faces and the fact that we have a community in Montgomery County made up of neighborhoods. And neighbors look after each other. They watch each other's backs. They protect each other. They help one another. And I'm just very proud to be a longtime resident of Montgomery County and be here with all the elected officials and each one of you and all the members of the faith community. Thank you all very much.
Thank you guys very much. We're going to ask the group to exit the stage as we bring up our next speakers. And while we're doing that, I want to acknowledge a number of our public and elected officials that have come here to support this wonderful event, starting with our fantastic county council, which you'll hear from in a little bit. Council President Nancy Florine, Signe Katz, Craig Rice, Nancy Navarro, George Leventhal, Roger Berliner, and Mark Elrich are all here. We thank them very much for coming. From our House of Delegates, I see Sheila Hickson, Ben Kramer, and Will Smith are also here. From our municipalities, we have Mayor Jeffrey Slavin from the town of Somerset, Mayor Kate Stewart from the city of Tacoma Park, Bridget Newton, the mayor of Rockville, Beryl Feinberg with the Rockville City Council, and Mr. Ashman from the city of Gaithersburg. We've also got Board of Education members here, Chris Barclay, Judy Daca, and Jill Ortman-Faust. We should give thanks to our elected officials for not just supporting this event here today, but for pushing forward progressive values that really understand those values that we treasure so much here in Montgomery County. Thank you all for coming. Senator Roger Mano and Senator Craig Zucker are here as well. Thank you both for your leadership and for coming. And Delegate Pam Queen is here too. As folks exit the stage, I now want to introduce our Police Chief, Tom Manger. As you'll hear, we have quantified, we've seen a 17% increase in hate crime since the election 10 days ago. You heard Congressman-elect Raskin talk about it. To speak to that and what we can all do as a community, Police Chief Manger will speak to that, but also Behind him will be the Reverend Dr. Carol Flett from the Episcopal Diocese of Washington and co-chair of the Faith Community Working Group, accompanied by members of the Faith Leaders Response Team and Emotional and Spiritual Care Volunteers Team. We will hear from Dr. Flett after Tom. Chief Manger.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you very much. Your police department cares about you. Your police department cares about your safety. Your police department cares about your children. They care about your parents. They care about we want you to be safe in your home, safe in your neighborhood. I've been a police chief for 19 years. That's under 3 different presidents. And I can tell you one thing for certain, that the way the Montgomery County Police Department serves this community will not change and does not change no matter what happens. No matter what happens with the federal government, I can tell you that the Montgomery County Police Department does not care about your immigration status. We care about your safety. The police department, when someone is the victim of a crime, we want them to feel confident and trusting of the police department enough that they come forward to let us know how we can help them, because we don't care about anything except your safety, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, what your situation is in life. The police department is here to serve you. We are your police department. Gabe mentioned that we've seen a spike in hate crimes in the recent weeks. We will not tolerate hate in this community. A hate crime is a crime against every single one of us. Yes. And for those cowards that in the dark of night think they can send some message, spray paint something on the side of a wall, destroy some property, I will tell them, look around, this is Montgomery County, and we will not tolerate that kind of action. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Manger. And now, Dr. Carol Flett from the Episcopal Diocese of Washington.
I stand here to represent a unique interfaith community partnership between faith leaders of all faith traditions, the Montgomery County Police Department, Fire and Rescue, Health and Human Services, and the Montgomery County Public Schools. We have formed a team. Standing behind me are some of the 40 members of the Faith Leaders Response Team who are prepared to respond to any act of hate, prejudice, or violence against any faith community or any member of it, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you experience vandalism, hate, prejudice, or violence, please contact the Montgomery County Police Department. They will inform the Reverend Casey Caseman or myself, and we will alert our faith team, who will come to comfort you and support you in this time of critical concern in your community. Also standing behind me are, in purple vests like this one, are some of the 35 faith leaders, social workers, and counselors who have been trained and certified as disaster chaplains. We have been deployed by the County Health and Human Services and the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. They call us when there's a mass emergency, such as the gas explosion and fire at the Flower Branch Apartments in Silver Spring, where 12 of us were there to assist and support the victims of that terrible experience. We also go to shelters wherever they're set up under fire, flood, tornado, hurricane. We're there to be chaplains to those who have lost their possessions, their loved ones, and their homes. I'm also the coordinator of a new initiative that emerged from recent town halls. It's a series of interfaith, interracial dialogues that are raising our awareness of the racism and prejudice in our county, in our families, and within ourselves. On January the 3rd, we will meet for the third dialogue at this Civic Center in Silver Spring to develop strategies and actions to change attitudes and remove obstacles that prevent racial equality and mutual respect between all faith traditions. And if you would like to have more information, I have a bag full of my cards, and I'm happy to give them to you.
Thank you very much, Reverend Flett, for those important words. Another critical institution in Montgomery County is our public school system. And as I'm sure you guys have all felt and read and heard, there's a great deal of anxiety among our children and families that go to Montgomery County Public Schools, but systems across this country and our region. Here speaking on behalf of Montgomery County Public Schools is our leader, Superintendent Dr. Jack Smith, who will be joined on stage with Lubna Ijas from the Faith Community Working Group's Education Committee, accompanied by members of the Education Committee, and we'll hear from her next. Superintendent Dr. Jack Smith.
This is magnificent to see all of you here. And I am here today on behalf of this community, this school system, and especially on behalf of 159,000 children and adolescents. 159,000 children and adolescents in 204 schools that are invited, that are welcome, that are important, that are valued, and that are needed. And every single one of them matters. Every single one of them must get a good education. Every single one of them needs this community to stand behind them and with them so they can go out and have a real opportunity in this society. And I cannot tell you in my 6 months here what it has meant to me to see a community like this that accepts every child, cares for every child, wants every child to get a good education. It is magnificent. And we must never, ever lose that. And I will echo Chief Manger. We don't care in the school system about anyone's status other than their reading level, their math level, and their graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. And now Lubna Ijas from the Faith Communities Working Group.
Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon.
Assalamu alaikum.
In partnership with the Montgomery County officials and on behalf of Rabbi Batia Steinloff, she's the co-chair of the Faith Community Working Group of Montgomery County, and she's the chair of the Education Committee. Some of the members are behind me. We are honored to work together with the Montgomery County Public Schools to ensure our MCPS schools are safe and secure and provide supportive environments for all families of all faiths. The committee, which includes Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, and Christian representatives, who are also MCPS parents, teachers, counselors, and former principals, have a close working relationship with a school system that is devoted to the well-being of all students and staff and has worked hard to develop policies to protect the rights and dignity of all. We are grateful to the superintendent, Dr. Smith, his management team, and all MCPS staff for their continuing commitment and hard work. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I'm sure you guys have also seen that our youth have had something to say about what's happened over the last 10 days. We've seen spontaneous eruption of important communication and dialogue across, a peaceful dialogue across our schools in this county, and representing two of our youth today, are Francesca Mendoza and Julia Avila Zavala, seniors from Blair High School, and some of the organizers of the event.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here.
Buenas tardes. Es un honor estar aquí.
Can we just take a moment to look around us?
Podemos tomar un momento para mirar nuestro alrededor.
This is unity.
Esta es la unidad. the state of being united or joined as a whole.
El estado de estar todos unidos.
There are so many different cultures and backgrounds here in one place.
Hay tantas culturas y fondos diferentes aquí en este lugar.
We are part of one of the top 5 most diverse counties in the country.
Somos parte de uno de los 5 más diversos condados del país.
And because of that, we should never feel alone or be fearful.
Por eso, nunca debemos sentir miedo ni tener temor.
Rather, we should feel empowered.
En vez, debemos de sentir empoderados.
We are all one people,
Todos somos un solo pueblo,
one voice,
una voz,
one community.
una comunidad.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Eso fue lindo. Another important institution in Montgomery County is our remarkable Montgomery College. To say a few words on behalf of the college is President Darian Pollard. Dr. Pollard.
This is why I choose to live in Montgomery County. Not too long ago, over the last several weeks, I've had the opportunity to talk to my own son about what is happening in our world right now. And I've had the opportunity to talk with lots of young people, both at my institution and across this county. And sometimes I think simplicity is the easiest way to say things. So I'd like to share with you a book called The Peace Book. Peace is making new friends. Peace is keeping the water blue for all the fish. Peace is listening to different kinds of music. Peace is saying you're sorry when you hurt someone. Peace is helping your neighbor. Peace is reading all kinds of books. Peace is thinking about someone that you love. Peace is giving shoes to someone who needs them. Peace is planting a tree, and peace is sharing a meal. Peace is wearing different clothes, and peace is watching it snow. Peace is keeping the streets clean, and peace is offering a hug to a friend. Peace is everyone having a home. Peace is growing a garden, and peace is taking a nap. Peace is learning another language, and peace is having enough pizza for everyone to have. Peace is keeping someone warm, and peace is new babies being born. Peace is being free. Peace is traveling to different places. Peace is wishing on a star. Peace is being just who you are. Peace is being different, feeling good about yourself, and helping others. The world is a better place because of all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pollard. We're blessed to have one of the greatest Montgomery county councils across the country. They have really stood up and have led in so many different ways, and we're going to hear from them right now, starting with Council President Nancy Florine.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a great crowd. I am very honored to be here with my colleagues, Vice President Berliner, Councilmember Elrich, Councilmember Reamer, Councilmember Katz, Councilmember Leventhal, Councilmember Rice, Councilmember Navarro, and our former colleague and the Secretary of Labor, Tom Perez. How are you? We passed a big resolution on Tuesday, and I know that my colleagues stand with you and with everything else that's been said today, but I wanted to make a few more points that are serious. We will not be seduced into ignoring the demons this election has released. We will look to our hearts in support of our diversity. We will stand strong in opposition to any efforts that imperil our welcoming and open values. We will watch, we will act, and we will fight for who we are. And we will act on what our hearts tell us is right.
Thank you, Council President Florine. Thank you to our County Council. We stand with you and appreciate your leadership. I want to remind everybody this event ends at 3:30. We're on schedule, and I thank everybody again for coming. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ron Halber, the Executive Director of the Jewish Community Relations Council. Mr. Halber.
The recent presidential campaign has brought to the surface an unacceptable wave of bigotry, racism, discrimination, and anti-Semitism. This national momentum of hate continues unabated, and its purveyors are now feeling emboldened, which has led to violence and fear in our community. Jewish values, tradition, and history provide us with clarity in today's atmosphere. We are taught that we are all created in God's image and that we are required to take action against injustice. We in the Jewish community are well aware of what happens when hate goes unchallenged. Many of our fellow citizens, Muslims, Latinos, members of the LGBT community, and others are feeling threatened. Incredible and intolerable talk of registries, forced expulsions of millions of people, internment camps, and the need for conversion therapy fills the airwaves. It is long past time for our national leaders of both political parties to unequivocally denounce this obnoxious language and behavior. Because, as Chris Van Hollen said, we're not going back. Let me promise you one thing here today on behalf of the Jewish community. We will stand shoulder to shoulder and support any community confronted by discrimination because our faith demands it and because it's the right thing to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. We're now going to hear from Alma Cubitier, Senior Director of Community Organizing for Casa de Maryland.
Venimos de todas partes del mundo y terminamos siendo vecinos. Y nuestros vecinos se convierten en nuestra familia y nuestra diversidad se convierte en nuestra fuerza. En nuestras comunidades tenemos las semillas de la paz. Sembrémoslas, hagámoslas crecer. We come from all over the world and we become neighbors by chance. And then our neighbors become family. And our diversity is our strength. We hold in our communities the seeds of peace. Let's make them grow.
Thank you, Alma. We have we want to acknowledge Senator Rich Madaleno, who has also joined us. Thank you, Senator Madaleno. And we have a very special guest, a very special resident of Tacoma Park, somebody who is no stranger to these parts, a good friend of mine, our United States Secretary of Labor, Mr. Tom Perez.
Hey, good afternoon. Buenas tardes. It is inspiring to look around in our community. Over the last 7.5 years, I've had the privilege of traveling the country serving this president. And frankly, I've seen at times America at its worst, and I've seen America at its best. I traveled to Milwaukee in the aftermath of a horrible incident involving a Sikh temple. And I saw America at its best when the community rallied around, when the folks of all races, of all colors, of all religions came together and said, we will build a better America. I traveled 6 years ago to this day to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, to celebrate the opening of a mosque that during its construction had been vandalized, but communities came together to say we are a stronger nation. Somos los Estados Unidos, no somos los Estados divididos. That's what people said. And I came together in Arizona when we prosecuted Joe Arpaio, the former sheriff of Maricopa County. People came together and said, you are not who we stand for. And this woman that I met, her name is Ellie Pettis. She has the same surname as me. She gave me this. She is also someone who is every bit as American as I, except for one thing. She doesn't yet have her status. She was born in Mexico. She came to this country when she was 2. She's a remarkable organizer. And she gave me this a few weeks ago, and I've continued to wear it. And it says, Mi sueño, tu voto, el 8 de noviembre. My dream, your vote. Well, I'm here to tell Ellie, and I'm here to tell all the Ellies of the world, it's not just your dream, it is our dream. It's the American dream. Because dreamers are not just a group of people, they're the values of this country. We are a nation of dreamers, a county of dreamers. We are indeed los Estados Unidos, and we always will be. Remember that, folks. If we've learned one thing, it is that the arc of the moral universe is indeed long, but it does bend toward justice. But you know what, folks? It does not bend on its own. We must bend it together. We will bend it together here in Montgomery County, across Maryland, and across America. And so I come here today with unrelenting optimism. And I know that's hard for some people to think about. But there's this guy, Albert Einstein, that I learned about. And there's this guy, Walter Isaacson, who wrote a book about Albert Einstein. And he told the story of letters that Albert Einstein wrote to his child, his son, in the 1950s, in the height of the McCarthy era. He wrote a letter to his son in which he said, what's going on with this country? Who is this Joe McCarthy? I fled Nazi Germany to escape Joe McCarthy. And then a year or two later, after Joe McCarthy had been censured and reduced to the dustbin of history, he wrote another letter to his son in which he said, I love this country. What a country. It's got a gyroscope. And just when you think that gyroscope is spinning out of control, it rights itself. Well, my friends, the gyroscope is not a piece of technology. The gyroscope is the most important word in the English language. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, you will be part of that timeless journey. It's not a straight line. Sometimes it zigs and zags, but it does bend toward justice. Let's bend it together, and let's bend it together with the best county executive in Montgomery County's history, Mr. Ike Leggett.
Senator Susan Lee has joined us as well.
Secretary Tom Perez, give it up. Tom Perez. We promise you that we'll get you out at 3:30. And I will not be long. But we did not come here just to rally and leave not changed. We came here to send a message. And I would like for you to make certain that you tell your friends, all of your neighbors, about what is happening here in Montgomery County and what we can do as a model for the rest of this country. We are Montgomery County. We stand for something that is right. So we will stand together. And we've stood together for many years. I had a saying some years ago when I was running for this office. Someone challenged me when I was saying repeatedly that I would make certain that everyone in Montgomery County will have a seat at the table of decision and a voice in the decisions that I make. And I said that many, many times. So finally, someone challenged me on that. They asked me, Mr. Leggett, how can you ensure that everyone will have a seat at your table and a voice in the decision that you make as county executive? How could you do that without pushing aside those who are already rightfully at the table. My response was, we will build a larger table. This is the Montgomery County table. This is a table which we welcome everyone. This is the table where we stand together in helping us stand together today. I know a lot of credit is given to me, but I want to thank a number of people, most importantly, the head of our Office of Community Partnership, Bruce Adams. Please raise your hand, Bruce Adams, the organizer. Gabe Albanos, Patrick Lacefield, and all of those who helped organize the dinner, Casey Mansfield, everyone else. Let's also thank these young ladies right here who've been standing the whole time, holding the flag. This is our future. And what we are fighting for today is to make certain that their children and their lives are not reflected by the hatred and things that we see today. I am optimistic. I believe in this country. I believe in a common destiny of good and hope that we can make certain that their future and the future for all of us is a bright future. Standing together, loving one another, serving our community. You can go out and help a neighbor. You can go to help those who are incarcerated. You can volunteer on Martin Luther King's Day. This is not, Martin Luther King Day is not a day we take off, but a day we serve. Just simply go to our website and you can see how you can serve. There are so many ways in which we can continue to uplift people. But make certain that you tell those who are in fear today, those who believe they will be deported, those who believe that they will lose their job, those who believe that they cannot protect their kids, that in Montgomery County, this is not what we do. You heard from our police chief. You heard from our superintendent of schools. We heard from Montgomery College. You heard from the county council. You heard from so many people today reaffirming that point. Montgomery County is special. It is a model for this country, and we stand together. One last thing. We talked a lot about peace. But when I say peace, I say Montgomery. So repeat it after me. Peace! Peace!